In earlier times humans believed in fate. We thought that regardless of what we did, our lives were destined to play out in a certain way. We were convinced that spirits or the gods determined our future, making us act and do what we did, and we were powerless to escape that fate. Today's modern man thinks differently. We believe we have a great amount of control over our future, that we create our own destiny. However, there are times when we question that ability. Times when, despite our best intentions and efforts, we cannot find success. We encounter problems that are strangely similar to something that has happened in the past. Things don't work out and we try and change our approach, but we end up doing things exactly the same way with the same results. It's as if we are not allowed to have the success we desire. We notice these patterns most easily in others. For example, we see friends continually falling for the wrong type of person, while unconsciously pushing those away who are a better match. We watch those who crumble under pressure again and again, but always have an excuse. We witness those who make a foolish decision with their money or career and then a few years later, do it again. And sadly, we see people falling in and out of addictions despite their efforts to reform. We notice these negative patterns in others but dismiss them in our own lives. We don't like the idea that there is something compelling us, outside our control, to act the way we do. But if we step back and look at our lives objectively, there are patterns, and they are seen clearly in our mistakes and failures. We recognize there is some truth to the concept of fate. This is not spirits or the gods at work here, but rather our character. The word character has roots in the ancient Greek and refers to an engraving or stamping tool. Our character is something that is so deeply ingrained or stamped within us that without our awareness and beyond our control, it compels us to act in certain ways. Our character becomes our destiny. Character begins with genetics, from the particular way our brains are wired. Then, we get profoundly stamped in the first 3 or 4 years of our lives by our relationship to our mother or caregiver. By the age of 7, the tendencies and tone of our character are set, deeply engraved in us. As we get older, our habits and experiences add another layer to our character. Based on our genetics and early influences, we developed strategies for dealing with stress, looking for pleasure, or handling people. These strategies become habits of thinking that are imprinted in our neurons, like grooves in a vinyl record. A path is set. Our character is formed out of these thousands of habits, and noticeable behavioral patterns are established. As students of human nature, our task is twofold. First, we must come to understand our own character. It's impossible to get rid of the stamp that is your character, but you can learn to stop negative patterns. You can transform the weak aspects of your character into strengths, and you can shape your character by forming new habits that will change the direction of your destiny. Second, it's critical to develop the ability to read the character of the people we deal with. People of weak character will poison your life regardless of their charm, intelligence, or reputation. To measure character, you must consider it the most important value when choosing people for your inner circle. This is hard for us. We tend to base our judgments on what is most easily seen. People often try and cover up their weaknesses by presenting them as something positive. For example, someone might project self-confidence to cover their arrogance, or seem sincere and honest but at heart they are just rude and insensitive. Or someone may appear thoughtful and prudent when they are really timid or full of fear. Likewise, there are those who will charm us and we can't help but like them, and then fail to look deeper into their character. We also tend to look at a person's reputation or the position they hold and not at them as individuals. Reputation is what people say they are, a perception, while character is who they actually are. Reputation is often based on character, but not always, so we need to examine everyone regardless of reputation. Successful people have just as many character flaws as everyone else, and may have stepped all over others to gain their success. The same applies to those who appear religious or have a particular political belief system or moral code. People bring the character they have to the position they occupy or the religion they practice. The appearance they present or the position they occupy are facades, illusions, and we need to train ourselves to look past them, instead looking for signs that reveal their character. The most significant indicator of someone's character comes through their actions over time. Over the course of someone's life you will notice the same actions and decisions, and in these decisions they reveal their character. Look for patterns of behavior in their past. Now look at what they do today and understand their actions are not isolated incidents but parts of a compulsive pattern. Always keep in mind that people never do something just once. They will make excuses for their foolishness, but compelled by their character and habits they will repeat their folly. The compulsive nature of their weakness will make them repeat actions that are self-destructive and irrational. You can also see revealing signs of someone's character in how they handle everyday affairs. How someone handles little things is a sign of how they handle larger ones. How they treat someone with little power reveals a broader attitude toward people. If they are late when there are no consequences, they will be late when it can cause real problems. If they become easily irritated by little inconveniences, how will they react when things really get difficult? If forgetful on small details, they will act the same on larger, more important matters. As Albert Einstein said, whoever is careless with the truth in small matters, cannot be trusted with important matters. Some people are good at covering up their flaws in everyday life but lose control when under stress. People under stress lose their normal self-control. Some people will rise to the occasion when the heat is on, but others will crumble. So it's always a good idea to observe how people behave when under stress. Similarly, how people handle power and responsibility will tell you a lot about them. The measure of a man is what he does with power. Notice how someone treats those who can't do him any good, and how he treats people who can't fight back. When some people attain a position of power, they feel entitled to treat others with disrespect. It's not that power changes people, it simply reveals more of who they really are. If you want to find out what a man is in his core, give him power. A person's choice of spouse or partner will say a lot about them. These choices reflect their relationship to their mother or caregiver early in life. Some people want a partner they can dominate or control. Others want a mommy or daddy replacement. People who fear abandonment will select a person of inferior looks that will cling to them no matter what. Another area to explore is how people behave when playing a game or sport. Some people have a competitive nature they can't turn off. They must be ahead, out in front, always winning or asserting themselves. Look at how people handle losing in games. Can they accept defeat graciously? Do they bend the rules to win? These traits reveal deep layers of insecurities. People can be divided into introverts or extroverts. This is usually a genetic trait and plays a large role in the character they develop. Although we are all a mix of introversion and extroversion, in general, one or the other direction will dominate. An extrovert is an outgoing person who thrives in an invigorating environment. They love noise and commotion, and being around other people. They don't like being alone. The question that dominates them is, what do others think of me? They tend to like what other people like, absorbing the opinions and tastes of the group. Extroverts thrive in group settings and feel energized by the company of others. They love social gatherings, and crave stimulation and attention from others. An introvert is a person who prefers alone time and minimal social interaction. To others they can come across as shy or reserved. While an extrovert is energized at a large social gathering, an introvert is quickly exhausted at these events. An introvert needs time alone to rest and recharge. They prefer quality time with one or two people over large gatherings. Introverts can get lost in their thoughts easily, they love to theorize and come up with their own ideas, and they need time to process and think through most things. Determining which type you are dealing with is important, because introverts and extroverts do not naturally understand each other. Extroverts see introverts as no fun, stubborn, even antisocial. While introverts see extroverts as shallow, flighty, and overly concerned with what people think. Typically, but not always, introverts and extroverts will not get along with each other, and are prone to constant misunderstandings. If you find yourself dealing with the other variety, you need to take extra care to understand where they are coming from and not force your preferences on them. It's also good to keep in mind that there are more extroverts than introverts in the world. Finally, it's essential that you measure the relative strength of people's character. Strength of character comes from deep within the core of a person. It's not displayed by outside swagger or aggression, but is witnessed as an overall resilience, adaptability, self-reliance, and dependability. It may give or bend, but a strong character never breaks. This strength comes from a feeling of personal security and self-worth and allows people to take criticism and learn from mistakes. They don't give up easily since they want to get better. Persistence is the great measure of human character. In adversity and chaos, a person of strong character keeps his presence of mind, staying calm and in control. They are open-minded, keep their word, have patience, and finish what they start. People of weak character, on the other hand, are easily overwhelmed by circumstances, making them hard to rely on. They can be evasive, unable to decide on a course of action, non-committal. They may not find the will to work hard or show initiative. If they do start a project, they may not finish it. And they may show a lack of self-control, losing their temper quickly. Those with weak character are hard to teach because they can't handle criticism. They don't take advice well, and always return to doing what they think is best. We are all a mix of strong and weak qualities, but some people clearly fall into one or the other category. As much as possible, you want to work and associate with those with strong characters and avoid weak ones. In measuring strength or weakness, look at how people handle responsibility in stressful situations. What have they accomplished or completed? Look for patterns. Can they take a good-natured joke at their expense? Can they handle criticism? Do they enjoy spreading gossip and rumors? It's important to remember that weak character will neutralize all the other possible good qualities a person might possess. Someone may be charming or intelligent, but it means little if they crumble under pressure. In life, you want people you can depend on. If they can't handle criticism, always put their agenda first, are arrogant or have other annoying qualities, they will create problems for you. Better to spend your time with those who may not be as intelligent or charming, but are reliable and less trouble. People of real strength are as rare as gold, and if you find them, respond as if you had discovered a great treasure.